conserve what battery we have left, and Go's online social life can wait. Now, both moves on where to go are a gamble, so we should apply a little common sense here. The direction heading down to Okinawa has lower lying land than the east, or even central Japan, which has, on average, the highest points of elevation compared to the rest of Japan. If the land is sinking, which it is, it wouldn't make sense to head to lower lying land. Also, heading directly to the epicenter of the earthquake is where most of the damage will have taken place, as this is where the hypocenter, or focus, of the earthquake would have begun, which means stuff there, including buildings and resources, will be worse off than anywhere else. It also wouldn't be a bad idea to get familiarized with this group and figure out what skill sets they have. We're much better in a group than solo, and this is a chance to find out what everybody is good at. Are any of them hunters or nurses, doctors? This is the time to get friendly with everybody, and if all goes to hell, then I'd see if I could convince the second group to simply head west instead, as this way I could have the distribution center to myself. What can I say? I needed more. On the way there, we need to look for weaponry, as people tend to have a bad habit of doing terrible things when pushed to the edge, which may just happen very soon. Walking on the highway, worried for their safety, she decides to give them the family's last remaining water bottle. What a nice girl. Worried about being at sea level, the family heads for the mountains. Suddenly, they find a nearby creek full of fresh drinking water. This is a gold mine. This right here is money. Since Muto decided to give away all our water, which is priceless at the moment, this is the best thing we've seen in a while, which is why we can't afford to let this go to waste. If I was them, I would stay here pretty much as long as I could, or at least for a longer time than they did. We have replenishing water, and we could in theory forage for various nuts and berries and mountain crap that is native to Japan, such as butterbur, ostrich fern, flowering rapeseed, spring chrysanthemum, among other things. Earthquakes don't last forever, and if they are this far away from everything and low on supplies, I would seriously consider staying here for at least a night or two until they have more information to work with. Consider it a bonus that they are high up and away from tall structures. Later that day, the family heads past ruined towns and deserted areas, but luckily they managed to find and catch some pork grub for the night, not knowing that one of them is going to die the very next day. That morning, the group finds a sign that says there are Japanese camps in the nearby area. The father decides to go to so they have dinner for the coming night. That's when Muto notices something very sinister. They've completely ignored one of the signs, and guess what it says? Unexploded mine could be buried here. Suddenly, the father makes one last dig, and the mine explodes right on the spot, killing him instantly and ridding the family of a father forever. The group decides to keep on heading west while they cope with the crazy shit that just happened. Luckily for them, a cheeky trucker comes by and lets them hit the ride. This ride isn't for free. Stopping at a gas station, the athlete here goes to wash her hands, when suddenly the trucker comes by and tries to comes from behind and manages to take him out. Using his truck, they make their way as far as possible before it runs out of gas. First off, this is why you always read the signs of a gated fence, idiot. Not to be clear, danger warning signs and digging the wrong places known for a lot of buried explosives. Frankly, Pops here was just asking for it, which is also kind of weird since he, out of all of them, seems to be the most capable. And let's talk about that nutjob thirsty driver for a sec. I know you gotta pay the troll for a toll, but this is insanity. He is a case example of why I mentioned weaponry earlier, folks. And as much as we like to imagine that people in times of crisis will come together for the good of humanity, honestly, that is not a guarantee. People know that in cases like this, the daily rules of life don't always apply, and unfortunately, dealing with people who take advantage of this is more common than you think. The longer the world goes to hell, the more and more people will start to lose it, and not everybody has good intentions, I'm sorry to say. This is also why I mentioned traveling in groups, and why Athlete Girl got lucky thanks to Mom and her tag teaming our thirsty friend over here. Find a group if you can, and for God's sake, pack some form of self-defense, as Mother Nature won't always be your only enemy. The next day, the group keeps going on foot. Seeing Mount Fuji in the distance, Muto and the athlete decide to take a breather and go for a pee down the hill. But this move is going to cost them. Suddenly, the athlete collapses on the ground, and that's when a mysterious man from the sky warns Muto to not go any further, or else she'll die. It turns out that toxic gas is surrounding the area below the hill. The athlete went too far in, which caused her to suffocate and die on the spot. The mysterious man introduces himself as Kite, a YouTuber that flies around in a paramotor taking videos of the Japanese landscape. He offers to take one person with him on his paramotor, but everyone refuses. Because of this, he changes his mind and decides to join the group. Leaving his paramotor behind, like an idiot. This just made everything a lot more complicated. She fell harder than a sack of potatoes and without warning, unless she had an aneurysm or blood clot somewhere. This could only be from some outside force, like a type of gas. We don't know for sure, but I'm willing to bet what just caused this was high levels of methane gas, which is a gas you can't see or even smell, and one that is produced naturally from the decay of natural materials, such as plants and animals, which is also found beneath the seabed. The disruption of the tectonic plates may mean that this gas could have seeped up and is now running wild in deadly high amounts. A little by itself is not the worst thing. I know, I've tried it. It's fun to smoke it. But too much can result in immediate loss of consciousness, and judging by how quickly our friend passed out, I'm certain it's methane gas. While technically we could have saved her, Muto made the right move backing away in time. If anything, Mom should have sacked up to save her. But let's be real, what could she have done? And if we're running low on food and water, then might not be the worst thing. She lived a good life. What I would be concerned with is watching for wind direction, because now if there's toxic gas around, then we need to try and position ourselves upwind rather than downwind if possible. Now I don't know for the life of me why they left behind that paramotor. That thing is so useful. Now unless we know anything about paramotoring, we couldn't have done much ourselves. And this thing ain't like riding no damn bike. If you fall off on a paramotor while it's in the air, you might die. But we could have used kite as a means to get some aerial reconnaissance, at least while we still had some fuel to burn. It's not like you couldn't have carried the damn thing while it's not in use, as paramotors are known for the lightweight engines. Finding a supermarket, the group scours the place for any edible goods and useful items, when they suddenly get alerted by a toy robot. That's when arrows start firing off from every direction, giving them the Hawkeye special, and then the group splits up to find cover. In the midst of the chaos, Go almost gets fatally shot by an arrow. That's when an old-looking grandpa comes down from the upper floor to apologize, and offers the group shelter while they wait out the stormy weather. The next day, the group gets ready to say their goodbyes. Suddenly, another earthquake hits, and both the group and Grandpa are forced to evacuate the area in his pickup truck. The Grandpa suggests they go to a place called Sean City, a shelter for those who've been affected by the disaster. Later that night, the group sets up camp and watches a national report from the Prime Minister. The group's plans are interrupted by a landslide, meaning they need to take another route. On the way, they pick up a foreign hitchhiker and finally make it to Sean City. The city welcomes them with open arms and offers the group food and shelter free of charge. Sean City bossman introduces the gang to their little town, but while the city might seem friendly, they're hiding a much darker secret that no one realizes. Meanwhile, Kite here sneaks out to go visit Grandpa, who's sleeping in his car. He slips in some morphine for his drug addiction, but Grandpa here is looking for something much more sinister, and everyone here is going to be shocked. The next day, the group checks out a ceremony by Mother, the leader of the city. She has the ability to talk to dead people and communicate to loved ones for their final words, whether good or bad. All she needs is a keepsake from the person who died. However, she only performs this ritual 3 times a day. Kai tries to see just how legit Mother is by handing her glasses guys glasses, claiming it was athlete girls who died from the methane gas. Touching the glasses, Mother here decides to throw him a bone and tell him that the object says, "It was me who said take a break. Don't you worry about it." These are the same words athlete girl said a few days earlier, and now everyone is shocked to find out that Mother might be legit after all. Meanwhile, everyone has settled into the city, working various jobs and becoming members of the community. Muto here has been assigned as a caretaker for a disabled man that can't talk and can barely move. However, he shows something very strange by twitching his thumb and flickering his eyes right before a minor earthquake hits. While Muto might not realize that this disabled man is going to be very important in the future. Now, this cult may be friendly, but I don't trust anybody who dresses in full white. This place looks safe for now, and we've got food and a place to rest. After the day we've had, I wouldn't be complacent just yet. Delayed aftershocks can be greater than the initial main shock, with a 5% chance of this happening within a week of the initial rumblings. Earthquake sizes are largely related to the length of the fault line upon which the country sits. The longer the fault line, the larger the earthquake. And despite Japan being right on top of the Johnny Cash Ring of Fire, there is no known fault line long enough to generate a magnitude 10 earthquake. However, what we've seen proves something is strange, which is why I would still be on alert and trying to steal food and water from the kitchen during after hours. I know, this white and loving is supposed to see the state, but we cannot let our guard down and be ready to move out at a moment's notice. Later that night, Muto goes to a dance festival held in the village center. It turns out that Kite and Glasses Guy are there as well, and they're killing it on the DJ booth. In the early hours of the morning, Grandpa here manages to break into the castle, kill 2 people, and steal Mother's kid and drive out. What a crazy old man. He thinks that Mother's kid is his own family because he is high as a kite and a tiny bit delusional. However, while attempting to escape the city, he crashes his truck directly on She realizes that the disabled man is Mr. Onodera, a famous geologist that predicted Japan would sink right before it happened. Hearing the news, Muto here rushes to tell Mom about what she's just heard. The two announce what's going to happen during the town festival later that night, but no one believes them. Suddenly, a fire erupts in the village and the ground starts to break open, and part of the town statue breaks off directly onto Go. But the chef covers Go from the giant tree, sacrificing himself in the process. Realizing the danger, Mother orders everyone to evacuate immediately. In the midst of the chaos, Kite here manages to sneak into Grandpa's hurt himself. Suddenly, Buzz now, however, Grandpa still wants to find the child and decides to head upstairs to find Buzz that finds Mother wounded from a gunfight as members are going crazy trying to steal all their city gold. Mother then tells them that they must find her son before they leave. Finally, they reach the top of the castle, and for the first time in 10 years, the child speaks. Suddenly, a piece of rubble crashes down from the roof, killing him instantly. Grandpa and Kite arrive soon after and explains that his grandchild died in a landslide, and he wanted to believe that he was the same kid reincarnated, but has come to terms with the accident. Getting ready to leave, the rest of the group hop in the truck. However, the hitchhiker decides to stay back, telling them he belongs in Shan City and is willing to die. Meanwhile, Grandpa tells Kite to leave him behind at the castle, telling that his days are numbered. The entire building collapses as the remaining survivors head elsewhere under a rain of gunfire and chaos. Okay, we don't have time to mess around right now. Didn't I say something was up? If we prepared for this earlier, we could have filled the truck with provisions like food and water and left better off than Muto and her group did. As of now, they have 5 people and no supplies whatsoever. From the fall of that statue, now you get why we couldn't have stayed in the town to begin with. One of the major problems during earthquakes is the liquefaction of the earth's soil, which happens when the strength and stiffness of soil is reduced by the shaking of an earthquake, turning the ground into literal liquid. We've stumbled upon something much more important, the famous paralyzed geologist. He seems to know all about what's going on and is the only person we can rely on for accurate information. So in retrospect, it's not a bad trade-off, and thanks to Muto, we found
Okay.
to talk to him. I would use this time whilst driving away to find out everything we can know about what he knows. While he is extremely valuable, he is also a serious burden. This is why I'd get everyone except the mom driving the car to help find out everything that he knows. This way he can soon ditch him and not worry about it. The next day, the group heads for the nearest port to board the evacuating ships. There can only be 1,000 people per ship, and the whole country is racing to the ports. Time is running out. Reaching the port, the group is forced to go on foot. The line for the ship is absolutely massive, and thousands of people are being rejected on the spot. Suddenly, Mr. Onodera tells the group that another earthquake is coming, but what they don't realize is that this earthquake is going to be the deadliest of them all. Lining up, Muto here notices one of her coaches waiting in line alongside her. Her coach mentions that the government has given special treatment to young people with promising abilities, meaning Muto here has a free ticket to board the ship. Saying goodbye, she hugs her mom, who notices something strange around her waist, but ignores it for now. Since no one else was given a ticket, she boards the ship, but at the last minute realizes that the fanny pack her mom was carrying is actually part of a ventricular assist device, meaning she recently had heart surgery, causing Muto to leave the ship and rejoin her family. And that's when all hell breaks loose. Mount Fuji suddenly erupts, forcing the group back into the truck and destroying the terrain below them. The group manages to find another port, sending people to safety. However, this time, it turns out they're only letting people that are purely Japanese aboard their boat, meaning Muto and her happy family aren't allowed on board. Luckily for them, a nice old guy lets them board his boat. Setting sail, they notice a boat near them explode in the distance. Suddenly, shrapnel starts flying from every direction and pierces the boat. The nice old guy whips out a lifeboat, but only Muto, Go, and himself manage to make it inside, while the original boat gets absolutely destroyed, separating them from their mother. Later that night, the remaining survivors reach something strange in the water. It's a high-rise building, meaning the whole of Japan has officially sunk. Alright, this is not looking good. We've been sitting here for what seems like ages, and we can't tell how much time has passed because the sky is blocked by ash and smoke. This also means that it's nearly impossible for anyone flying overhead to see us. This group got extremely lucky, and likely wouldn't have made it in any other scenario. We can't use the sun's reflection through a piece of mirror or our phone screens to alert any nearby planes or ships, nor from the looks of things can we use any non-porous materials, like a raincoat, to catch and store drinkable rainwater based on what Muto told us. Volcanic ash has polluted the air, meaning any rainwater we collect will be unsafe to drink. However, desperate times call for desperate measures, so I would carefully consume small amounts of collected ash water, but only as a last resort, since we would be stranded here for a long time. Small amounts of ash taken through the water in limited quantities could present a low risk of toxicity. In this situation, we have little choice as long as we remain stranded. Muto and Go here missed out on a a big opportunity to take a break on top of the sunken building. They could have used that place as a base whilst they waited out the rescue, as this would have also ensured that they don't get pushed further out into sea or be at the mercy of any rogue waves. And while this might sound counterproductive, instead of eating the chocolate bar, they should have fought off their hunger and used it as bait to catch fish. Yes, you heard me right. According to our friend, famous survivalist Michael Howard, in his book, The Sea Survival Manual, fish are attracted to vessels and boats. This means if Muto had any jewelry on her, or if she used pieces of her phone, she could have used this as a makeshift lure to attract fish to her area, and she could have used her shoelaces or unraveled sock threads to serve as a fishing line. After a few days at sea, the group starts to get sick and weak. Suddenly during that night, Muto here wakes up and notices the old guy pushed over the tent wall with some nice seagulls viciously attacking him, shooing them away. She looks over and notices something extremely horrifying. The man has been dead for hours, and the seagulls have peeled his skin from flesh. Suddenly, a shark comes out of nowhere and takes them away. Muto here zips the tent up, and the two wait until help arrives. After a few days out on sea, Mom and Glasses Guy here finally find the kids before they starve to death. Glasses Guy shows them coordinates left by Mr. Onodera, and Go here figures out that they must be located east of Hiroshima. Using a self-made compass, they figure out exactly where the closest shore is and head off. A stranded motorboat is then spotted out of the blue, but unlucky for them, Mom here dives in and tries to discover. She manages to dislodge her, but before she makes it to the surface, she drowns before anything can be done. Okay, Mom took one for the team here, and this is exactly why it's good to have people with different this way, they can get the group out of sticky situations while we sit back and relax. And since the motor is placed in the back, I'm willing to take a guess that the boat had a D-drive inboard system.
Good. I'm embarrassed. My aim was terrible.
Which would have made it easier to help Mom pull out the rope, giving her a few precious extra seconds to swim back to the surface. If this sounds too complicated, then it probably is. Mom here is a pro swimmer, but her glory days might be behind her. She should have been able to hold her breath for much longer and known that swimming rapidly upwards from deep water to the surface would cause her to pass out. She could have easily survived this situation by taking a moment to physically and mentally prepare her body to withstand the underwater pressure. By inhaling and exhaling slowly from deep within her diaphragm, we can rid the lungs of low-quality air, preparing for it to intake excess oxygen to be stored within the blood cells. Applying this technique for a few minutes would have ultimately helped her increase the amount of time she could have held her breath. While it might seem difficult, she only needed a few more seconds and she would have made it back to the boat safe and sound. Sometime later, a Japanese tank approaches them. Suddenly, Kite appears and invites them in, with Mr. Onodera also chilling with him as well. After a turbulent trip, they finally make it to land and find a nearby hot spring. After a well-deserved break, Kite here takes the group to the only place in Japan that can withstand a natural disaster. He knows of a place with secret archives that might hold the information to be able to save the entire country from any further damage. Exploring the island, they find a secret cave, but Kite here decides to go it alone with Onodera. Walking inside, they find a secret research room with the files he was looking for. As Kite manages to transfer files into a hard drive, a roaring earthquake then trembles once again, hitting the island as the room begins to fill with water. Using an oxygen tank, he and Onodera manage to swim back to the surface, but they're not safe just yet. Strong waves begin to hit the island, and the hard drive gets swept away in the process. It's dangerous, but Glasses Guy here decides to go fetch the files. After an absolutely epic sprint, he grabs the data chip and nearly makes it back to safety. He tosses the data chip to the gang right before a massive wave slams right into it from the side, killing him. If we think about it for a second, he was our best bet since he had extensive experience in track and field. Muto here is also an athlete, but her leg is injured, and our only other options were a kid, a YouTuber, and a paraplegic, meaning we don't have many options. Judging from the rough stone coastline, that area looked pretty deadly. Even if this guy was a professional big-wave surfer, he would have still been dragged into the stone coastline or the seabed itself, and there's little chance of surviving that. If I were Glasses Guy, instead of waiting for a wave to come and go and then run, I would have begun running as soon as the waves came crashing into me. This would have been a little riskier, but would have given us a whole extra second, meaning we have 11 seconds, not 10, to make it back, and an extra second was all that this guy needed if he timed it better. Checking the archives, they find a ray of hope. Onodera predicted exactly which areas would sink, as well as which areas would rise back up, meaning parts of Japan will return in coming years. Using a raft, they find a hot air balloon floating in the ocean. Kite manages to fill it using a spare oxygen tank, but the balloon only has room for one, so Kite here decides to fly away on his own, leaving the rest for jerk. Checking Mr. Onodera's body, they find a working phone with a working internet connection. It turns alerting their location to rescue services. And that's when a helicopter comes and picks them up, all due to Kite. Now they're safe. While looking over the ravaged Japanese landscape, Muto suddenly passes out under the leg. Taken to the hospital and operated on. A doctor informs her that due to the infection on her leg, she's developed pruritic osteomyelitis, a condition which will...
Bro, that was fucked up.
What do you mean?
You broke my fucking leg, bro. You didn't kill me.
Oh, you want me to fix your leg?
No, fucking shoot me. You fucking broke my leg. Kill me.
I'm not killing you.
No.
That just seems worse.
I guess you're right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I didn't know you're friendly. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were friendly.
Oh, no, it's fine. Have a good day.
I don't have nothing on me if you want to go to the store.
Well, there's a gas zone, so we can't really go in.
What do you mean? It does nothing.
Oh, it does nothing? Yeah, just so you know, there's a guy over there. Guy over there.
Almost have him.
Yeah, he's still there. I can
let's
see him
go
through
then.
the bush.
Where at?
In the
Oh, I
bush.
see him. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, but I didn't know I just thought you were, like, gonna kill me.
Oh, okay.
I thought I seen a weapon on your back, so I just didn't know.
Yeah, no, it's fine, bro.
Wait, how'd you get... Oh, you got cut, though. How many cuts do you
Yeah,
have?
I just got one.
I'll get you up then. Set. Careful, there could be players in there.
It should heal over time.
Yeah, okay. You get what you need. Bandage up. Sorry, yeah, I didn't know you were friendly. Sorry.
No, it's fine, bro.
Here, I'll got a bandage for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How's your day going?
It's going pretty good so far.
Nice.
Yep.
What you not liking about it today?
Nothing much. There isn't really anything bad going on today, so.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Alright.
But yeah.
Oh shit, nice.
Um,
Here we go.
How'd you hear about this game anyways?
Oh, I've been playing it since it came out.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, we should probably stay in here.
Alright.
That way we don't end up dying from some idiot that comes up next.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. There's a plate carrier over here if you want it.
Oh, I've already got one.
I want this SKS, but I kind of want to keep my Lars, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the SKS. Honestly, it just feels way better.
Yeah.
You want to just like, where'd you go?
Oh, I'm in the back room.
You want to set up like landmines or something?
Do we have any?
I got 2 or 3.
All right.
I got 2. Take this one. We'll place it at the front and I'll choose this one.
Alright.
Okay, we're good. Mine's set.
Yep.
The heck? Oh, right. Because of that. Right. I don't see any pistols. I haven't seen a pistol since the start.
I've got a Magnum. And that's basically it.
Wow. This is probably the only thing anyways right now. I thought there would be more people on the server anyways too, so that's kind of weird.
Yep.
Oh, no wonder why I couldn't load it. Actually, I might take the ammunitions box and just fill it up with ammo.
Alright.
sec. What the heck? Everything has 20 in it, so I'm gonna need to get rid of. Oh, right, because a guy was shooting at me when I was at the car. I was gonna say I have a black armband for you, but not anymore.
Yep.
I feel like all day now people just start killing each other.
Yep. It is a PvP server, so.
I know. I know that's a PvP, but I'm just saying, lots of people kill. Like, and some of them are friendly and people don't be friendly back, so.
Yeah. How long have you been playing Dayz?
I don't know. I've, like, well, can't remember. I've been playing it for a while now,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't even remember.
Yeah.
What's your favorite weapon? Not to lie.
M16 or M4.
I like M16s and M4s,
Yeah.
but M4 is mainly better.
Yeah, I guess.
It just feels more right. Do you have rounds for that pistol?
Yeah, I got a few rounds for it, but oh, here we go.
Oh, I got one. I got 20. I'm not sure though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just surprised someone's actually friendly for once.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were friendly when I shot you, so.
That's fine.
You should get this plate carrier on.
I already got one on.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Oh, I can barely see it. What was I doing? I was looking for something. I can't remember. Oh. Yes, outside. Can't be too greedy with loot today. Because I need to
Yeah.
log off. I need to be able to log off with it.
Yep. Just so you know, you're starving.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oops. This is probably like my second life.
Oh, I just murdered somebody.
This is my second life so far, anyways. So going good.
Most of my characters that I have on servers live for a while, except if it's on like a server like this. Yeah. If you want to, you can send me a friend request and we can play later.
Sure. Sec, take care of me.
Alright.
Ice, wait, is it lowercase?
Yeah, lowercase.
Ice, something. What is it? Ice, one second, I need to look at it.
Ice Slayer 4530.
Yeah. Oh. Sec. Slayer.
Yep. Ice Slayer 4530.
Okay.
Just type it in.
I am.
Oh,
Ice
okay.
Slayer number
4530.
4530. I invited you. Did you get it?
You sent me an
You
invite
should've.
to the server. Send me like a friend
Oh, what?
request.
One sec. It won't. What the heck is going on with my game? My game is lagging hard.
Alright.
And like, I can't add you for some reason. It
Oh,
won't let
okay.
me.
Well, you can just send me a friend request later whenever you can.
Okay. There's someone outside, isn't there?
What do you mean?
Well, I heard someone like zoom in. You know how you zoom in on the gun?
That was me.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Do you want to go to police station or something?
Yeah, sure. Just give me 1 second. I
Okay.
didn't put my handgun into a thing. And of course, I hate it that it puts your holster as like into a quick slot for some fucking dumb reason.
I know.
Here we go. Don't go in there.
I know. Oh my god, I thought you stepped on one. I was like, no.
Hold up. I don't think it's safe yet. Don't go near it. Get in the other room.
You want me to shoot it? I have really good aim.
Hold up. Here we go. I'll shoot it.
What the heck? Oh, now it's gone.
Yeah. Still can't run. Kind of weird.
Yeah, it takes a while. What's your health at then?
Like 3/4.
Oh, you're good then.
Yeah.
Plus, if someone tries shooting you, I'll just kill them first, and then if I die, you can just go around. How about if we both die, just meet up right at the train station thing.
All right. I'll go to the train station if I can make it there without dying.
Yeah, me too.
Someone on top.
I am once. Ah, he hit me.
He
So hard to see. I
yeah,
hit
it
him
is.
once. I hit him with the M16.
Mhm.
I don't know how many's in there, so you want me to throw a grenade in there?
Hold up. Behind.
Get down.
Oh.
Kill her, and the only way to stop the infection from killing her is to amputate her leg. 8 years later, Japan has risen once again. Muto here is competing at the 2028 Paralympics with a prosthetic leg. Remembering all that she's lost, she completes her dream of being a world-class athlete, marking her legacy in the history book. books. And if you want to join the history books along with Muto, then I suggest you comment down below. If you like what you look like, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and also don't forget to check out our playlist and our TikTok page.
This is a terrible spawn. I don't think he saw me.
Oh, good morning, my beautiful queen.
I think we are witnessing a fucking dead person on fucking TikTok.